Hey everybody, Sam from Tap. Brand new product we're launching today. It's Tap Tuesday, and we have something we're excited about, as usual, and it's another high performance item, the Titanium XL Tactacam booster. This is different from any other product we've launched before in that there is no male threaded portion on this. It has a female threaded aluminum anodized insert on one end. It has an aluminum quick disconnect insert on the other end. So if you're familiar with our original Tactacam booster, you know that this is a departure from that design. You can already see, I'm sure, that there is a convenience factor being built into this. There is a practicality aspect in terms of the quick detach option. So I'll show you how it works. I'll talk a little bit about the specs of this product, why we did this, what it will offer to you if you're a Tactacam shooter. This is 3.8 inches in length, end to end. It's 3.1 ounces approximately, including the screw and the quick disconnect pin that comes with it. Everything is included you need to be able to adjust this in a number of ways on your bow. The original booster does a good job of intercepting vibration, reducing recoil that gets to the camera, and in some cases certainly noticeably reducing the sound of the shot as well on the recorded video. But we realized that there were some ways to offer more to the Tactacam user. One is the length of the product. So 2.2 inches is what the original booster is. This comes in at 3.8. By having additional length, you are extending out the radius from the riser of the bow of your stability. You will get better accuracy with a product like this compared to the original booster. That's not to say that you don't see improved accuracy with the original booster. You do, but you'll get even more with this. This puts it at an overall length that is very ideal for a bow hunting setup. It's certainly what I would use if I were running Tactacam on my bow. This puts you at almost 10 inches. It's about 9 3/4 that it comes out to. And if you run a side stabilizer mount on the front with this, it'll put it out a little further at about 10. But that really is ideal given the overall condensed, concentrated mass that the Tactacam housing and mount has when it's attached. So found through feedback from our team members that have these test models that it's a very good product. I'm going to show you how it's attached. I'm going to tell you about some other options as far as if you are running a side stabilizer mount, what needs to be done to get this attached correctly. So let me start without side stabilizer mount, just going straight to the bow, and then I'll show you some of the design features that are in this that make it very convenient to use, very practical and easy. Also gives you repeatability, and that's something we know in archery is just of utmost importance, is having repeatability shot to shot, whether it be repeatability on how the equipment adjusts back to the original position that you want it, or repeatability in your shot form, etc. So put the screw in, and it comes with this 5/16 threaded, 5/16/24 threaded jam nut, which is adjusted by a 1/2 inch wrench. So this wrench will tighten that down. You don't necessarily have to use the nut when you put it on this way, but I do think a lot of people will want to because of the security and position that it gives the screw. So put this in. You'll have to play with it a little bit in some cases to find out what that length is that you want to get the exposed threads to, because you want to have enough of exposed thread to be able to put the QD pin on securely, but you don't want so much thread that it goes through and out of the recessed opening, because that will impair the ability for the QD portion to fit down onto it. So this should be about right. We'll adjust if it's not, but I'll tighten that down. So tighten the nut down against the bushing of the riser, or if you don't have a bushing in your riser and it's threaded straight into the aluminum, just tighten that nut down against the bow itself. And then you want to put your actual pin onto this screw. And this will be something you, again, maybe with a little time and experience, you'll get more used to doing it. But once you have that location set, then you can leave it there. So the QD portion will go onto the pin. And how this tightens down is the same as our front QD in that it tightens down really well. It tightens down very, very securely. And that's something that we really are pleased with. We always have been with the QD function. So once it's down tight, hand tightened is all it takes. This will not come loose unless you want it to. And it breaks free with just as much ease as the front QD does, about a quarter turn. So really convenient, very nice setup. As far as location that it tightens down at, that is a little bit variable. It depends on where the threading was started in the riser, where the bushing is oriented when it was assembled. You won't necessarily be able to get exactly straight up and down orientation, although with a bit of adjustment and playing with the length of the screw that's exposed and where you tighten down the nut on the screw, you can get it to orient a little more towards the upright location it is there now. That does not impact performance in any way, however, and it doesn't make it more prone to coming off. As I said, it doesn't come off. Once it's tightened down, these QDs just grab hold and they do not come off. So that's how that's set up right there. Now, if you're running a Tactacam mount as your stabilizer, you would then go ahead and adjust this before you put the camera in, of course, to get to the right location. So you want to make sure that you are adjusting so that you have the Tactacam mount housing here positioned upright, so that when you put your camera in, you're getting the level picture that you want. One thing that's different about the original booster versus this is that to detach this housing from the original booster, you literally had to unscrew it every time. Or if you wanted to detach from your bow, okay, you had to either detach this from the booster or hand unscrew the entire booster with the Tactacam mount attached to it as one piece. It took more time, of course. And as I said, there were several things about the original model, which we still sell. We have Generation 2 out now. It's a great product, but it's less convenient. It also offers less length, i.e. less stability. So once that's attached down, you have it as tight as you want it to be. Make sure your set screw for your camera is in the right position. Then you can say, okay, that's ready to go. I would be able to put my camera into here. When you want to detach from your bow, you do not take this off of the XL booster. You take the XL booster with the mount attached as one solid unit, one piece, and you detach that. So you loosen from the QD and you pull that off. And now you have this entire assembly that can be safely stored somewhere. The screw will stay at the same length it's supposed to because it's tightened down with the nut. The QD pin itself, of course, is a little loose, but that's not likely to come off unless this bow is jostled around a lot. You could always take the QD pin off, I guess, if you wanted to, during storage or during transportation, what have you. But wouldn't be necessary. So depending on how far in or out you have the pin from the nut determines how much space, of course, you have here when you go to tighten back down. So there it is again. Tighten back down, really tight, very solid setup, brings you back to the same location that you were. So that's what you want. You want that repeatability, you want the ease of detachment here, and you want to be able to know that you have a secure, solid setup. So for a Tactacam user, to us, the way I see this is the ultimate in performance. Ultimate stability, improved suppression, so you get all those things. Now, one other area to talk about here is if you are running a side stabilizer and you have to mount from the front. Now, if you can see here on my bow, I'm mounting from the back. A lot of bows do have threaded bushing in the back. But if you don't have that and you're currently wanting to run a side stabilizer and you have to mount from the front and you're also going to use this XL booster, then this would be pertinent to you. This would relate to how you would have to set this up. So you'll want to take this off, of course. This is a slightly different process. I'll take the QD pin off, and then I will take out the screw, and then show you how it is that you attach the mount. Apologize for the lengthy video, but I do want to be very thorough with people and explain in detail what they need to do so there are no questions, no concerns, no problems. And if you ever need to reach me, you can always do that. Sam@titaniumarcheryproducts.com for questions. So the mount itself, this is one of our original style brackets, actually, one of our older brackets, will go in against the bushing. You would run the screw through it to the distance that you're going to have to play with a little bit the amount of threading that you want to leave exposed, so that you have enough to account for the QD pin. Now this is a 1 1/4 inch screw. It's plenty of length to be able to attach this or attach really any other accessory to a bow, and it's not too long that the internal threads on bows can't adapt to it. So you'll want to actually do this. I think actually at this point here we're probably a little too short on the amount of threads exposed. Alright, so right about there. I would tighten down the nut itself to tighten the bracket down. So this is where you're tightening your bracket down as much as you need it to be. That holds the bracket very secure. And then of course here's your QD portion for the mount. These are on our website too, of course. Thread the pin back on. Get that to the location you need it to be. So yeah, at this point it's a little too far in. Back it out a little bit. And there I can slide the QD on and tighten down. In this case, with the mount, it was able to tighten down exactly in the upright position. So as you can see, it is variable depending on what items are in between here and how much exposed thread there is, and just that determines ultimately where it will tighten down at. Now with the tighten down here, of course, that changed the position of the housing. So if I were going to run the camera in here, I would adjust this again to get the upright position you need to be. And there you have that, back its location it's supposed to be. Now you can detach easily again. You can detach using the actual XL booster is what you want to grab. Detach, your mount is still secure and in place, and then you can proceed to transport or whatever you would need to do. So again, guys, this is a great product. I mean, it functions at a really high level. It has a light diffusing powder coat added to it now. It's on our website, titaniumarcheryproducts.com. These retail for $54.99. Again, they include the pin, the QD, the jam nut. You get the 3.8 inch, 3.1 ounce XL Tactacam booster. So look forward to hearing from people if they have questions. Look forward to talking to everyone. And again, we're excited about this new product. Check us out today. If you aren't following us on Instagram, please follow us there, Titanium Archery Products, and also Facebook.com, Titanium Archery Products. Thanks a lot, guys.